Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the media. And let me welcome you to this urgent encounter at which we intend to share our thoughts on a matter of grave national importance. In the last few days, we have learned about damning allegations made against His Lordship, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, Justice Kwasi Annin Yeboah, by a prominent lawyer, Kwasi Afrifa Esquire, to the effect that his client, whose case he was conducting, had informed him that the Chief Justice demanded a bribe of $5 million United States dollars to fix the verdict of a case before the Supreme Court. The lawyer alleges that the Chief Justice demanded the replacement of Kwasi Afrifa with Asideu Nketiah Esquire as lawyer in the case as a precondition for ensuring victory in the case for his client. We have also taken notice of a denial by the chief in question, Nana Ojedom Abrenu Kwesiata VI, and the Chief Justice of the said allegations, and the subsequent request of the latter for investigation into the matter by the Criminal Investigation Department of the Ghana Police Service. Distinguished friends from the media, the allegations made against the Chief Justice are very grave and rock the very foundations of our judiciary, which is an indispensable and independent arm of government. Any suggestion that the head of such an institution has sought to compromise his office to undermine the integrity of judgments made by the courts warrants the most serious attention. This is because any doubt harbored over the integrity of the judiciary and its leadership has the potential to completely erode public confidence in the administration of justice in Ghana and our governance institutions as a whole. And you can guess what the results will be. Over the years, we have collectively worked hard to build a judiciary with an enviable reputation as a country. Our judiciary has produced some of the best and finest juries on the African continent, and I dare say in the world at large. Ghanaian juries have served in top positions in the judiciaries of other African countries and in many reputable international institutions. The role an effective and independent judiciary plays in attracting investment, ensuring national stability and cohesion, and improvement in the general well-being of the citizenry cannot be overemphasized. As the political tradition that birthed the Fourth Republic, we are deeply concerned that if this matter is not handled with utmost transparency and the required seriousness, it could compromise public confidence in the judiciary and roll back the many gains that we have made in our forward march as a viable democratic state. In this regard, and without taking sides or commenting on the merits or otherwise of the said allegations of bribery against His Lordship the Chief Justice, we believe that an investigation by the Police Criminal Investigation Department will be woefully inadequate to assure the Ghanaian public that a thorough inquiry has been conducted into the matter. We are of the considered view that the recent history of the police CID with respect to investigations into allegations against high-ranking officials of the Akufo-Addo-Bawumia government would not afford the sort of confidence that must be engendered in an investigation such as this, considering the elevated position of the person against whom these allegations have been made. We recall how corruption cases like the Australia visa fraud scandal, the Galamsey fraud scandal, the 500 missing excavators scandal, just to mention a few. And I can also add the investigation about cash for seats, monies collected to see the president by 2 deputy chiefs of staff, and so on. All ended in clear cover-ups when handled by the police CID. The magnitude and gravity of this matter call for utmost transparency and confidence building, which the CID cannot master at the moment. We in the NDC hold the view that though these allegations have a component of criminality, it is in equal measure about alleged misconduct on the part of a judge, and as such, it would ordinarily fall within the ambit of the Judicial Service to take steps to unravel the truth or otherwise about this matter and take disciplinary action if proven to be true. This is exactly what was done in the bribery expose of ace investigative journalist Anas Arimeyao Anas against some judges a few years ago. And you all remember the matter started under the leadership of President John Dramani Mahama. He took the appropriate steps, and part of the punishment was delivered after handing over to Nana Akufo-Addo, who signed the dismissal letters of some of the judges. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, the difficulty, however, with this is that the investigations would concern the Chief Justice, who is the subject of the bribery allegations in this matter, and in whom disciplinary authority against judicial officers is vested under Section 18 of the Judicial Service Act. The Judicial Service Act provides that the Chief Justice is vested with the authority to discipline all the judicial officers in the country. But now you have allegations being made against the person who should be the disciplinarian. So that is a difficult situation there. Therefore, good governance dictates that the Chief Justice steps aside during the pendency of the investigations by the Judicial Service relative to the issue of alleged misconduct on this part as a Supreme Court judge. That is, if we decide to go according to that route, then it means that the person who is the disciplinarian cannot be disciplining himself. So if we want to go according to the Judicial Services Act, then the person who is the subject of the allegation must step aside so that other officials will take over during the pendency of the investigation. And if he is cleared, he returns back to post. If otherwise, then it will all come out of the investigation. As I have said, the Chief Justice cannot be a judge in his own cause, hence cannot set up a committee to investigate allegations of misconduct against himself. Also, we think that due to the considerable public interest involved in this matter, another potentially effective and transparent approach in the circumstance will be a full-blown public inquiry. This can be done by invoking Article 278 of the 1992 Constitution, under which Parliament can, by a resolution, compel the President to set up a commission of inquiry to look into the matters at hand in a transparent manner and make a faithful determination thereof. Friends, we are now confronted with a very dicey situation where it is the word of lawyer Kwasi Annin on the one hand against the word of the Chief Justice and the said chief, who is alleged to have paid the bribe in question, on the other hand. As I have already explained, the issue has dire consequences for the reputation of not just the judiciary or the person of the Chief Justice himself, but our revered chieftaincy institution and the country as a whole. The question is, whose account among the three should we believe as a country? Who is telling us the truth? Is it the Chief Justice and Nana Ojedom, or is it lawyer Kwasi Annin? We believe that only fair and transparent investigations can establish the truth in this matter. And we hold the opinion that the transparent approach of a public inquiry is the best way to go. This approach, we believe, is in the interest of the Chief Justice and the lawyer who both stand accused, and the Chief Justice and his accuser. You know, I want to explain a little further. You see, a lawyer has made these allegations. The lawyer did not make the allegations before he himself was hauled to a disciplinary forum for some misconduct. We know corruption has ways of fighting back. It is entirely possible that it is because of this charge against him that he is fighting back. Nobody knows. And we also have chiefs in this country who engage in influence peddling. They exploit their relationships with high people and go to places dropping their names and doing things entirely behind the back of the person whose name is being used. That thing too, we do not know whether it is the case like this. And so, that is why we believe that in the interest of the country and in the interest of the Chief Justice, and also in the interest of the chieftaincy institution, and in the interest of the legal profession, because the lawyer too belongs to the legal profession. So, whichever way you look at this, we need a very impartial and transparent process to unravel the truth. I've said earlier on that not many people know that one of the things that investors consider before deciding to invest in the country is a very effective, impartial judiciary, because every investment involves potential litigation somewhere along the line. So before they commit their resources to a country, they look at your judiciary. And we have a judiciary which has some reputation outside. Some time ago, the Chief Justice of Gambia was a Ghanaian. Kenya was a Ghanaian. When you look at the several international tribunals, you have a Ghanaian judge playing a role there. And the millions of lawyers who had their training in Ghana. This case, if not properly determined, would affect the reputations of all these guys, including the reputation of the country. That is why we think that we should lift it above petty prejudices and pursue the interests of the country by making sure that these matters are properly investigated, and if somebody is found culpable, that person will be punished so that the image of Ghana and the image of our judiciary will be clean. When the Anas expose happened, I was here when two prominent ambassadors came and said that because NDC was in power, this is a killer expose. I said, why? He said, because they are lawyers and the expose, they are judges, and the expose has happened when NDC is in power. I told them, in your country, these things happen, don't they? Say yes. So the challenge to us is not about the fact that it has happened when we are in power. The challenge to us is how we handle them. So if we are able to handle these issues properly and impartially, it will rather boost the image of our country and our government. And we will have a better score even on the corruption perception index. And I'm not surprised that we kept having those higher scores. And truly, President Mahama triggered all the, whatever it was to be triggered, the processes. And it ended in the punishment of the erring judges. And as I mentioned, the last punishment even happened when President Akufo-Addo was in power. He signed the dismissal letters. I remember he got a lot of praises from the media for doing that, even though he didn't initiate the process. So this is the first challenge to him as far as the judiciary is concerned. And everybody in the international community and in Ghana will be watching how these matters are handled and handled satisfactorily. We have looked at the route of internal investigation, and we've talked about the challenges. We have looked at the route of the president triggering some commission to look at it. If we don't feel persuaded, there is a third route we can investigate, and that is the Commission for Human Rights and Administrative Justice, which has an enviable reputation of looking into similar cases of alleged corruption against highly placed state and government officials, will be better placed to conduct such an inquiry. At least when you take the records of CID and CHRAG, as far as high-profile cases like this are concerned, we believe that CHRAG has performed better. We also disagree with the referral of these allegations to the General Legal Counsel's Disciplinary Committee by the Chief Justice for the sole reason that it is an offshoot of a body chaired by the person at the center of these allegations, that is the Chief Justice. The likelihood for an impartial and balanced investigation by them into this matter will be quite minimal, so long as the Chief Justice remains at post. We therefore believe that the General Legal Council should stay its hands off over this matter pending the final determination of the issue by independent state organizations clothed with requisite authority to do so. Best practice will require that the Chief Justice steps aside temporarily until the matters are looked into and a clear outcome emerges, and we believe this instance calls for such an action. Friends from the media, in making these calls, we are guided by the supreme interests of governance and the preservation of the image of critical state institutions like the judiciary and its leaders, especially the Chief Justice. No iota of doubt must remain about its integrity and credibility, and it is absolutely imperative that everything is done to guarantee this. I want to thank you very much for coming.